Williams Success Realty, which is a franchise of KW.
Mm-hmm.
But what a lot of them don't know is that these teams that you see spread across Illinois, we tell their story. And that is their business. But technically, a bunch of these teams that we were just talking about, Dawn Bremer.
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's our net.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So we span all the way from Rockford. We have a location out in Rockford, all the way up and past the Wisconsin state border, all the way out towards the water, right?
Wow, that's great.
And right just across the top of Chicago. And then there's a location in Chicago, too. And there's one in Libertyville and Palatine.
That's it. You guys get around. I know you guys are doing some great things out there, and we're excited to have you today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
So that's it. We're with Eddie Martinez from Homestead.
I used to work there. No, with McHenry Savings Bank.
McHenry Savings
Thanks,
Bank. If you're looking for cheap money, this is the guy to see for sure. So that's it. So that's it. Keller Williams, man, really bouncing out there. I see a lot of your offices. I know a lot of your agents. They're doing fantastic, doing a great job, you know. And so what is your role as a Keller Williams partner?
I'm the president of Keller Williams Success Realty.
Okay.
The market center is 300 plus strong. It's comprised of the top real estate agents in Northern Illinois, a bunch of teams, individual agents, all the way from brand new to mega empires. Okay. And so my role is to support these individuals, create the environment for them to thrive. And I think we're doing a pretty great job.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you, I haven't seen anybody complaining. So that's fantastic. This is always good.
Sure. Great.
People always like to complain, but not today. So you've been in real estate for how long?
I've been in real estate for 12 years.
12 years.
6 of those are with Keller Williams. I've had a few different positions. I've been in production. For those of you that are outside of the real estate industry, that means I actually sold homes, listings, and helped buyers and opened doors. And I started out my real estate career leasing property in the city of Chicago. So that's where I cut my teeth.
Yeah.
And I think that if you get into real estate, you should probably either rent a whole lot of property or have to go through the buying or selling process on your own,
right?
To know what it's about. Yeah,
that's for sure.
I see a lot of transitions from loan officers to eventually becoming real estate agents and whatnot. What got you interested in real estate to begin with?
Money. Yeah. And I think if anybody tells me anything outside of that, they might not be 100% true in their statement. But what I would say in that moment is that money is the reason why we get in. We want the financial independence. We typically draw folks that are entrepreneurial minded, right? And the beneficial byproduct to money being the source is that you have really great connections with people and relationships. And this then becomes not only about money, right, but culture.
Right.
This becomes about people, right? Because we all get into this industry and we think that this is a business of contracts and buildings.
Right.
When in reality, it's this.
Right.
Right. And so it's the beneficial byproduct of that, which is great because now we know that money is not only the reason. Like we do this because of people too.
Right. Absolutely. Right. So it's a byproduct. You know, you
100%.
go for both.
That's
so
exactly
that's fantastic. And so if somebody, I've talked to a lot of people lately that have said, you know, man, I just want to get into real estate. I love it. It seems exciting. I look on Zillow, I look on all these different sites, and wow, right?
Yeah.
And they see all the glamour and such. How would somebody get started in real estate?
Gosh. Well, first of all, I think there needs to be something wrong with you.
Right. I think that's a given. Right?
Yeah. I think, well, there's a bunch of different ways to get into real estate, right? Mm-hmm. Because technically your real estate license allows you to do so many things. But to back up with what you said, you know, a lot of folks, they approach us and they go, I really like homes and I really like looking at pictures on Zillow. And I said, well, if you're getting into real estate because you like homes and because you really like people, this might not be the industry for you, right? And so we could talk about more of that later. But as far as how to get in, there's a bunch of different ways. I think around Keller Williams specifically, and I think our brokerage, that we call these market centers, by the way.
Okay.
There's a lot of terms inside of KW that make no sense to anybody outside of our world. And so when I say market center, what that actually means is that's a headquarters.
Okay.
And it's where our 300 plus real estate agents hang their license. And so how do I get in? Well, speaking specifically to Keller and Success Realty, I would head over to movewithkw.com, click on the Get in Touch button, which is in the top right corner.
Okay.
Here's where we're going to ask you a few different questions, right? Because we are a company of all different walks of life.
Right.
A lot of people think you need a real estate license to get the story started. Well, that's not true. We can actually help you with that. And so to answer your question specifically, we have partnered with a local school by the name of AHI. It is run by a gentleman named Rocky, and he has some phenomenal people inside of that company. And so those folks, if you're looking for a human connection, right? I know that they have 3 different products that you could use to get your real estate license.
Okay.
One of those is a self-propelled or self-taught program. This you can move at your own pace. And to be authentic with you, that is what I use because I wasn't sure how long it would take me.
Sure.
I use that to acquire my leasing license, my broker's license, and my managing broker's license.
Awesome.
They also have a 2-week accelerated course, which you've been through it.
I
right?
did the 2-week.
You
Yeah.
might have talked to people that have been through that. I'm like,
Absolutely.
that's a lot of content,
That is.
right? I don't know if anybody who's listening, well, I'm sure you do, but phone books, they used to be like that,
Right.
right?
You don't even see one anymore.
You don't see it anymore.
No.
And the first time that I got my hands on a real estate book, I was like, wow,
Right.
that's a lot of content. And so to think you could move through that inside of 2 weeks, I will tell you that a lot of our agents have done that
Right.
and been very successful. There's also the conventional program that they offer, which is X
Sure.
number of months.
Right.
And so there's initial money out of pocket for that. And what we're interested in KW is to open the door up to people that make the door open for everybody.
Right. Sure.
Right? Don't let any barriers stand in our way, especially in hopefully a post-pandemic world.
Right.
Right. And so what we've launched at Keller Williams is a product by the name of K-Score, which is Keller Williams School of Real Estate. And how we open this door is that we make the Keller Williams School of Real Estate available to anybody because it is completely free. Right. And so
Free is good.
Yep. Yeah, nobody complains
Free.
about free, right? And so what I tell folks is that if you were somebody that could watch a YouTube video like 10 times and then try to install a dishwasher
Mhm.
and at least not have it start on fire,
Right. Right. There you
K-Score
go.
is where you should go.
Good.
If you're looking for human interaction, you got questions, definitely go AHI. You can go wherever you want.
Right.
frankly.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I guess another piece of advice I would tell folks, if you're considering real estate, look at that book, okay, and absorb that information and hold on it for just as long as you can to pass the test. And then forget about everything.
Right.
Because you're going to surround yourself with the people that can answer these questions for you. But the school doesn't teach you, I guess the running joke is that real estate school doesn't teach you how to do the job.
Right.
They're going to teach you how to
Absolutely.
not get in trouble. The brokerage that you align yourself with is going to guide you in that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And connecting with the right brokerage is so important when you get out of school because
Yeah.
there's so much to know and depending on what direction you want to go. Like you said, you did leasing initially and then you get
Yeah.
into sales and there's commercial and there's luxury and
Luxury.
there's all sorts of different green homes and just so many things you can do
Sure.
that you need to know what you want to do or
Yeah.
at least start sampling stuff, right?
Can I expound on that really quick?
Oh, absolutely.
So the education that the brokerage is going to bring you, the best way that I paint that picture is that this is the foundation for your business.
Right.
And so what's so weird about real estate in general, even in my role, is that there's a lot that translates from the real estate transaction itself, the product that we sell, to real estate entrepreneurship as on its own. And so if you look at the foundation of a skyscraper, okay,
Right.
the foundation that these skyscrapers, is this the Joe Rogan show? Can I ask you to Google that? I don't know how deep that foundation is. But if you look at the foundation for a skyscraper, it is hundreds of feet deep.
Right.
And that is because that skyscraper needs to withstand wind, right?
Yeah.
It's literally going to determine how big that skyscraper gets.
Right.
And so the foundation that you're setting inside of a real estate brokerage is the building and the pouring of your foundation.
Right.
And so as we move through the ebbs and flows, you've been in real estate for a long time, right?
Sure.
There's ebbs and flows to the market. So that is quote wind,
Right.
right? And where is this? Is this somebody who's doing 7 transactions a year? If that's your win, awesome. Do you want to build an empire? Great. Well, if you want to build an empire, that foundation needs to be solid,
Rooted down
Right.
really nicely.
Yeah.
Right.
because we know there's a statistic around people that get licensed,
Absolutely.
right? I think it's somewhere around like, again, I don't know, we could Google it. I think it's like 80%
80%.
of people that get into real estate inside the first 2 years. They don't
Yeah.
make it.
I know I'm a little slow, but there you go.
How much is it? I can't see.
The minimum depth of foundation is 1 meter in case a design is not available. Check the length with, what do you mean 1 meter?
1 meter times something. There got to be a multiplication there somewhere.
We can just say
Well,
that
we're
it's
just
big.
saying it's big. Yes.
Right.
Bigger
And
than a meter.
That's where the brokerage shows up.
Right.
Right.
There we go.
Right.
Because we're literally going to teach you how to do the job and make sure that you don't become one of those people in the 80%.
Right. And I think for those people listening that are interested right now in getting the real estate license or have it as a New Year's resolution goal, I think this is a great way to look into it where you can have some skin on the game with some money down or even free programs that will allow you to at least uncover and identify if this is something for you, right?
100%. I think the skin in the game could either be money that you've dedicated to this, right? This
Sure.
endeavor. But frankly, you would agree, right? As a realtor, your time is
Time.
your literal currency.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right,
Yeah.
and
And
so
you have to
it is-
leverage that currency.
That's the most
right?
valuable thing we
It
have
is
this
an
time.
investment. It's exactly right. We have an X number of hours on this planet,
That's it.
and so what you decide to do with it is up to you. Where
Right.
you invest that is also up to you. You should do it with people that know what they're doing.
This
Right.
real
Absolutely.
estate school, is it Rocky Romero by chance?
Esposito.
Esposito.
Rocky wasn't a boxer before, was he?
Listen, you got to ask him.
That's right.
You got to ask him. Him and I obviously I was connected to him through the real estate school. We have a lot of success with AHI.
Great.
Phenomenal organization.
Perfect.
The people inside of that organization are also great. Let me give you like a functional behind the scenes where they show up,
Mhm.
and hopefully they're cool with me sharing this. So, and if not, I'll pay for it later.
Yeah.
So, what a lot of folks when they take the real estate exam, they don't pass the first time around. Matter of fact,
That's true.
the success rate it's about half, right? And so, where does the school show up? Not only is this somebody that's guiding you through that book, that monster of
Right.
content, but also let's say that you fail. A lot of schools, that's it. Like go buy the course again. These folks will partner up with you and walk you
Right.
through where you might have failed.
Yep. AHI is quality product.
It is.
I've seen them. I've worked with them.
Yeah.
And knowledge is power. And
Yes, it
the
is.
people you surround yourself with when you get through the class, if you get through the class, is power too.
That's
because
right.
the people, like you said, 80% don't make it 2 years. Why is that? Because they're not surrounding themselves with the right people and not giving the right direction, right?
I'm sure it's a combination of things. I think
probably,
that,
yeah.
well, gosh, if you take entrepreneurship on its own, you're like, you make your own schedule. Awesome.
Right.
To a lot of people, that is a double-edged sword,
Right.
right? And so what you quickly have to then master, and sometimes it's through mirroring, sometimes it's through guidance, is time blocking,
Right.
right? And so I guess I want to nuance this a little bit more, right? So if you're someone who is currently in a 9 to 5 or has some source of income,
Mhm.
think about this. Go to school, right? Go pay money for the school and then go pay money for your license, pay
Right.
money to get that all situated and any investment you make in business cards and signs and all this
Right.
stuff.
Right. Right.
What you wouldn't want to do is fail because you didn't have access to the knowledge that you wouldn't have needed. And I think I've shared something maybe with you in passing is that this knowledge is not mine.
Right.
This knowledge belongs to other people, but I just happen to be exposed to it
Right.
repeatedly. And so my ego would want me to take credit for it, but I'll
Right.
tell you right now, authentically, that it's not mine.
Yep, absolutely, and that's key. And of the agents that are live that are active, average sales is about 8 per agent. Is that so? When you see
Yeah.
these mega agents like Don and Tepper and them, they're doing mega deals. I mean,
Volumes and volumes of business.
Yeah.
I have some stats around those for you because these are, you could go on the MLS and you could look this sort of thing up. But where we see a degree of difference in the quote mega agent is that they're not. I guess let me back up. Your success could literally be 7-day transactions a year, right?
Oh,
And I
absolutely.
guess what's true about KW is that we want to exist in your world to the degree you want us to exist, which means if you are brand new and you're like, I want to do 7 transactions, awesome. We'll support that win.
Sure.
If you're somebody that wants to move from 7 transactions up to where you're handling 5 or 6 transactions in 1 month, we'll exist in your world to the degree you want us to exist.
Sure.
You move up to these other levels with these names that you mentioned,
Right.
Tepper and Lukey and Bremer and Beth Repta and
Yep.
whoever else. I'm not sure who's been on the show, but you look at their businesses and these aren't 10 million, 15 million, 20 million in volume. These are folks that are moving 30, 40, 50, 60 million in volume every single year.
Right. Year
Right.
after year. Yep.
And here's what's fascinating about these people is that they haven't recreated the wheel, right? I can tell you right now that Tyler Lukey is way different from Rich Tepper. Rich Tepper is way different from Beth Repta. Dawn Bremer is different from all of them,
right.
right? And so, and she's one of my favorite humans too.
All in
But
favor? Aye.
Yep.
she's great.
She
I was
is.
just out
She's
to lunch with
amazing.
her about
Yep.
3 weeks ago. She's one of my
She
favorite
was
people.
fantastic.
And so while the thing with real estate, while the story is technically consistently the same, right? Buyer, seller, property, how you navigate that.
Right.
Well, that flavor of ice cream is that agent.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
And supporting yourself with people that can support you. You get to that level, in real estate where maybe you bring on somebody to assist you, an assistant or something
That's
like that. Because you want to provide a quality service and get referrals. That's the biggest compliment an agent can get is a referral of one of your friends or family coming to buy or sell a home with you.
That's exactly right.
That's correct.
And how do you maintain that level quality of
Right.
customer service on a scale where there are sometimes 10 transactions being handled
Right.
in 1 month? Well, I can tell you the only way that you can do that, and we have a metric behind this. So we know specifically that once an agent reaches a 4 to 5 transactions per month cadence, at that point, they're going to notice that their customer service is wavering. Now, the client's not going to feel that because we tend to surround ourselves with really polished people, but the agent is going to know. And then they know that they can approach our leadership team at KW and say, what do I do? Right.
Sure.
And so we tap into the knowledge that we have access to and go, well, let's look at your business. We think that the first hire you should make is an admin, somebody that's going to help you facilitate your business. And then what we do is we walk through that agent on how the spending of a salary and hourly wage actually makes more money.
Right.
And so it's
Absolutely.
not just the agent, right? It's the agent's vision, but they're amplifying the support from other people around them.
Right. And that's it. Surround yourself with success.
That's right.
Successful people and amazing people like
Right.
yourself
Well,
is
thank you.
always a big key.
Is
I play
that
one
why
on
I'm
TV.
left over here behind the microphone?
That's right.
We are 15 minutes in, and we'd like to let the people know, how can people get a hold of you, Dan?
Sure. So movewithkw.com is ultimately the best place to get in contact with me. So it is spelled just in the way that it sounds. And then up over in the top right corner, there is a get in touch button. And you can tap that button. And then this is if you're looking to get into real estate, right? So if you're another brokerage and you're looking to transfer to KW, or you're brand new or whatever that might be. Outside of that, if you were to Google I Am Icon, which is IAMIKAHN, that's my tag.
Mhm.
And so I would pop up everywhere. Or you can just Google Dan Kahn, and I'm not sure what you're going to find.
That's
But
right.
hopefully it's all good.
Yep. So this goes across the United States and across the globe. So,
Mm-hmm.
depending where they're at, move with KW.
Yeah, Dan's got a warrant out of Panama.
That's right.
Yeah, It sounds like, hearing you right now, the interactions that you've had, I can tell you have passion in this field,
Sure
which
do.
is obviously it's something you want to bring with you when you're looking to explore if I want to be a real estate agent or not. But are you also involved in training or anything like that with some of the agents or whatnot?
I am. Yeah. And so I think if you were to source out the reason why I do this and talk to people that have known me for a period of time, the goal that I'm on, well, I have 3 pillars that I build everything on. I'm share those with you. But before I do that, I think my intention is to share and provide as much value as I can at the largest scale that I possibly can. Right. And so where that results, that might be some of the things I've done where I've presented in front of thousands of people at one time, or
Right.
done something like this where there's hundreds of thousands of people. And I think where I find a lot of value is in the individual that is accomplishing whatever their win is. That actually gives me goosebumps. Right. And so one gentleman I'll bring up right now, his name is Scott Carter. So if you were to Google Scott Carter was a real estate agent. He was an agent on a team that I had for a while. And at one point in our relationship, I said, Scott, I'd really like to bring the photography for this team in-house. Have you ever thought about taking photos? He's like, no, I've never picked up the camera. Well, I can tell you right now, that is exactly what Scott Carter does. And the fact that
There you
Scott
go.
Carter is passionate about his photography, well, that's definitely not him. So he's on Instagram.
Free promotion.
Yeah, free promotion, whoever that guy is. He loves it.
Right.
Right. And to watch somebody progress into, it's not that he didn't enjoy the other things or other things in his life, but he loves that.
Right.
And I think if you were to say, Dan or Scott, what got you, he'd give me the credit, and I would immediately push that back on him. That was you.
Right.
All I did was figure out maybe something that you might want to look at, identified it, and put it in your hand.
Right.
That's where I show up.
Absolutely.
I think those are great niches of a good leader. A great leader is helping to identify someone's true potential that they have, but they just haven't really uncovered that. So they just need that little shove there.
Yeah.
to-
Yeah. Can I go a
to
little
get
bit
there.
deeper on that with
Yeah,
you? Adam?
absolutely.
So I would say that your calling card is the success of the people around you.
Right.
Right. And so I was just in conversation with somebody, and there's a product that we're likely to launch at KW that is going to help people build their profit share tree. So in movewithkw.com, you can click on profit share and actually show how we tie people in our organization, how well the organization does. Right. And there's a product coming out for that. But this person that I was in conversation with yesterday said, OK, so where are you in this? And how do you want to be benefited with this? I don't. Matter of fact, you and I building this right now, and you looking back on this in 10 years,
Right.
give me that.
Yep. Give me that.
It
for
almost
sure.
feels in part like a, what's the word I want to use? Like apprenticeship, more of a, what's the word I want to use? Internship,
Sure.
right? You get someone, you help them get developed, and now they work for you, and now they're a great asset to the name of Keller Williams.
Sure.
So that's great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, look at my role, right? So how did I get to this position?
Right.
Well, carrying certain positions inside of KW, those were my MBA courses in business.
Right.
Right. So think about that. I got the education, and then they paid me to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of nice.
Yep.
You gotta love that. You gotta love it. Hey, do we have a woohoo over there?
Woohoo!
Yep, it's going to be Martinez Mortgage Minute here, 20 after the hour.
Ooh.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Yes. So a lot of the questions that I've been getting right now is, are rates increasing? Although rates are, historically low right now, based off of, what they've been for the last, for the 30-year average, right now they have slightly increased. So based on what the experts are saying and people in the field, whether it's realtors and professionals, they are slowly increasing. So what does that say to the person out there thinking about buying? Is just get yourself ready, get yourself geared up, get in contact with professionals in the field that can help you see if you're pre-approved, see if you're in line to have that be a reality this year for you to purchase a home. How do we do that? Get in touch with your lender, your local lender. You can also call me as well here at McHenry Savings Bank. 815-331-6428 is my direct number. But also, don't be afraid to pick up the phone or call your real estate agent that has great lenders who they work with to get you pre-approved, get you in line with what you can afford, and then hopefully make that a reality for you. So again, we're receiving information that rates might increase. Might as well look into it now before we definitely see that happening as the months roll on, starting New Year's 2022.
So,
Amen.
do you know this person that commented on the program?
Yes, that's my dad. So shout out to my dad in California.
Hey, whoop, whoop. You got to love it.
Oop.
Send some of that weather this way.
Yeah.
It's the coldest day out of the year so
Right.
far.
Yeah,
We're only a
man.
few days in, but
It's-
man,
We
That's
got
it.
lucky the last couple of weeks. So
we
you
sure
know.
did. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
leaving the gym around like 6-ish
Oof.
this morning, like covered in
That's-
sweat, walking
yeah.
outside, it instantly froze on my skin.
Well, rumor has it you had hair when you left the gym and it just
That's exactly
froze.
what
That's
happened.
right.
Listen, this look makes me more aerodynamic. So,
That's right. That's it.
Eddie, I wonder some approach that I have around some people that are considering buying because they're currently renting, right? Is, it shouldn't be, should I get pre-improved? The question should be, should I increase my net worth? Right. Because we know statistically the people that own homes versus that rent are statistically
Oh,
worth
absolutely.
more money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's an investment in you.
I love that. And for anyone listening, those are the mindsets that you need to change starting 2022. How can I increase my net worth? Having your own home is obviously an asset that will live with you for the rest of your life.
Exactly
So
right. Exactly right.
why
And
give
then-
your money away?
Exactly right. And so you could take the money that you'd be applying towards your rent towards something that you would eventually own, right? And if you look statistically and historically, anybody that's ever had any amount of money ever has had money in real estate, whether that's they
Absolutely.
were buying and selling real estate, holding and investing in real estate in
Right.
some capacity.
Right.
They owned one of these structures that's on this rock that's hurtling through space at whatever speed that.
And it's funny because, man, more than half the time, a lot of these people who rent are paying more in rent than what they can be doing paying down their mortgage.
Right.
It baffles me, but it is
Well,
the
the problem
reality
is
that we see.
they can't afford a mortgage, but they're paying somebody's mortgage.
Right. That's right. That's exactly right.
Right.
So yeah, that's a glimpse behind the curtain, right?
Right.
Like, well, I'm renting. I don't pay a mortgage. Yes, you
Right.
do.
Yeah, you do.
You're
Just
paying
not
somebody
yours.
else's mortgage.
That's right.
And when you get behind the curtain far enough as a real estate agent, by renting out a piece of property, somebody else is paying your mortgage for you.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely, and that's definitely people as they outgrow their first home. I like to recommend, hey, rent that out, take that as income, build your next property, let them
Yes.
pay that one off, move on, keep moving up, right? You know how it is. So
Yeah.
now this show is for residents all over. If somebody came to you and said, hey, you know what? I'm looking to buy or sell. What should I look for? Now you train people and you've got mega agents. What are some of the tips that they should be looking for when they are looking for an agent?
So I could speak to how we train our real estate agents and the mindset that we think they should come from. And so if you look at the real estate transaction,
Mhm.
this is the single largest thing that anyone will ever own,
Yeah,
mostly ever.
sure.
For, I guess percentage wise, this is the single most expensive thing that anybody will ever own. I don't know about you, but I would want to trust that person, right? And so where we instill a level of confidence in our agents is through, I guess, let me back up. So your clients, right, are the people that are buying and selling homes. My clients are the realtors, right?
Right.
And that's the mindset that you need to have. And so through the support of those agents, then the clients that are the byproduct, right, of my relationship with the agent, they benefit from the support that our agents receive. And so what do I look for? Well, I would want somebody that is involved in the community, whether they live in my community or they're highly involved in some capacity. I would want somebody that has a level of authenticity and advocacy for me.
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
That's what I would be on the hunt for. And so what questions should I ask? Well, I would tell you to take a moment, whether it's you making that decision or you and whoever this other person is making this decision, and you list out how you would identify if you can trust somebody. Right? Kevin, I would give that to you, right? I think that when you engage with somebody, I think that you're able to establish that line of authenticity and advocacy right away. And most importantly, you can carry it forward for a long period of time. This is where a lot of agents fail. Some of that 80%, they treat this as a transaction.
Right. Next one, what's the next one? And
that's exactly
right.
When what are
One and
realtors
done,
hunting
right?
down?
Right.
They want the referral based.
Absolutely.
Business.
Absolutely.
This is somebody that maintains that relationship for such a period of time that I don't know about you, but I know that a lot of agents that are around us, like these people become your friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get invited to parties, barbecues.
That's
right?
where
And it's
client
your
events
job
they're
to
coming
show
out.
up.
That's right.
Right. Absolutely.
That's great. It's amazing. It's the people that you align with. They say a majority of people don't use the same realtor on the next transaction because they weren't sure if they're still in the business. They never heard from them. They never saw them again. It's over.
They don't remember their name.
Don't remember their names.
Yeah.
Which is bad.
Mm-hmm.
So callback is an easy name to remember because callback to callback.
Yes,
that's exactly. I love that. That's awesome.
It was fantastic. And real estate. So when people get in, they say, "Oh man, real estate." And I consider the first couple of years in real estate kind of like an internship, like we talked about. But people that are successful in life and running companies and stuff have degrees. They have associates, bachelors, masters.
Sure.
You have your MBs. MBA is.
Well, I got that through KW.
If
you Google me, you're like, he doesn't have an MBA.
Oh, there you
I got one through KW.
There you go. Awesome. So it's like an internship. So they have that learning process, and getting into real estate isn't hey, I'm going to be successful. It's a lot of hard work.
It is.
And if you love something, they say you never work a day in your life. And I say, if you love something, you're working every day of your life because it's not hard work or hated work, but you're working hard for your clients. You're working hard for your agents. You're working hard to train them.
That's right.
Right. You're doing all the right stuff.
That's right.
That's why we love having you here today.
Well, thank you. I often get asked, you spend a lot of time in this business and on other projects that are real estate related.
Mm-hmm.
I guess when you say that it's a hobby, it's not something that you do part-time, right? When you've got some free time, this is a hobby and that I would go spend time on this regardless.
Right. Exactly.
And it's so find somebody where this is their passion. This is what they do. It's who they are. Yeah. While the rest of the world, right? Like, who are you? I'm a manager.
Right.
Right. But a realtor, they're not telling you that they're just a real estate agent. They're an advocate.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a question out here for you, Dan. It says, what do you think is the most important skill a person needs to be a realtor?
Well, I will take what I said. Take the advocacy portion of this.
Is that the part about Eddie where, never mind.
It is. It is. The most important skill. Let's get granular on what advocacy means, right? So let me ask you guys, right? And then I'll tell you what I think. So when I say to be someone's advocate, what is that? You're communicating at a high degree.
Absolutely.
You're acting in their best interest.
Yep, their best interest above your own.
That's exactly right. So how could you identify that person? Well, right off the bat, what I would tell you from behind the scenes is that most real estate agents do not return phone calls or text messages. So as a first step, I would probably get on some websites and reach out via email, phone call, and text and see who replies right away.
Right.
Uh-huh.
I think part with what you said that is very true is just having that genuine approach and knowing that they are looking out for your best interest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Gosh, what was the question one more time?
It's on the screen right here.
You think I can read that?
What do you think is the most important skill a person needs to be a realtor?
That's such a great question. I would say the highly successful real estate agents that I know are learning based and they have an abundance mindset. What does that mean? That means that they know that if they stop learning, that they start dying.
Right.
And if you look at the real estate market, as you could attest, I am sure, the ebbs and flows of it are challenging.
Oh, sure.
And so the real estate agents that are highly successful, the ones that you would want to partner with if you're looking to buy or sell a home, are consistently learning. They know that they never know. Like, there's not a month that goes by that I haven't picked up on something.
Right.
I was just in a room of 100 plus people from the region, and I walked away with a handful of notes, like some huge ahas, right? And so be learning based, be abundance mindseted. In that, what does that mean? There is enough business to go around.
There is. I agree.
Have you seen increase, speaking of like changes and whatnot, this whole virtual showing?
Yeah.
What's your take on that? What have you learned on that? Is that something that will be seen more in the future? I'm sure
yeah.
we will to some degree. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think a whole bunch of things around that. I think I want to speak from experience.
Sure.
So upon the onset of the pandemic, and hopefully on the back end of it here, where we were highly successful, is that we pivoted. Now, I've come to actually hate that word along with the other keywords. We pivoted in such a quick, efficient manner that our real estate agents then collectively, for the history of our little company of 300 plus agents out of that location, then had a record 8-month stretch for the length of the company. Right. So inside of how many years that might have been, like 20 plus years,
Sure.
because of how quickly we pivoted, they had success, record breaking success for the company for the remaining 8 months. And so what do I think about the digitization of real estate? Well, here's what I think. I think that we will never see a moment in time where 100% of the population is willing to buy their single largest asset without setting foot in it.
Absolutely.
The byproduct of that is that there will be a human involved. Will there be some people that will buy a property without ever seeing it? Sure.
Yeah,
that will happen.
absolutely.
I think another byproduct that you're likely to see is that you can never go back. And what I mean by that is that, hey, let's just say we really enjoy texting each other. Okay. We're going to take that away. And now I need you to write a little note and put that on a pigeon and send it into the sky. What's your answer? Not happening.
Now we're going back to that.
Not happening. So you can't take it away.
Right.
So I think a few things around that. I also believe that this removed the barrier that we associated with geography, right? And where real estate agents can effectively do real estate and advocate for their clients. If you look specifically at my world, because I can't really speak to anybody else's, but what people are going to see from Keller Williams is that you would have access to this real estate agent that is dominating in this market in other states because we're launching an expansion program. Right. And so there's a whole lot around that. But here's I guess, my takeaway. My takeaway is that it is a challenge. My takeaway is that the world will never be the same and we're all better for it.
Right. I think we got to, just move with the changes. And like you said, someone that's always going to be on top of their game is someone who's continually, seeking out that education. What's the next big thing coming? And if you're aligning yourself with people like that, then you and others like you will be successful. That's my take on that.
You are the byproduct of the 5 people you surround yourself with the most.
And I keep getting kicked out for bringing down the average.
That's not true. I would say you've elevated the conversation, my friend.
We need to stop hanging out with Coach.
We just need them to create smell-o-vision. If we can get smell-o-vision, I think that's going to help some of those
Listen,
transactions along.
If you could accomplish that, that would be 1 degree, 1 fraction removed from my idea that you could never buy a home without seeing
That's
it.
right.
Person, right?
We've
As a
walked
real
in,
estate
yeah.
agent, you would agree. You've walked into some homes, you're like, you have a cat, huh?
Yeah. I think you got a lion.
Yeah.
You have 12 cats, huh?
12 cats. Yeah.
Kind of crazy, and that's it. So as we look forward into the future here, I know Keller Williams is always a forward-thinking company,
Sure.
and I know that you are always in abundance, always looking to learn, like you
Oh, yeah.
said, that abundance learner. And what do you think what's the next? What comes next?
Gosh. So if you were to go find me on Facebook, I think I put this on my personal page and my business page. 11 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is where I struggle with is that your ego or is this right? You want to go share this with the world? 11 years ago, I put up a post that said, is the addition of a Netflix button on the remotes for some of these TVs that you're buying going to close more Blockbusters and Hollywood video stores? Well, 11 years ago.
That's right.
Okay. And then in 2014, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And here I am in real time. I'm forgetting exactly what you just asked me. So can you repeat? What did you
What's
ask?
next? Right.
What is next
with
in all
everything
this?
going on? Where are we headed? What do you see?
Yeah. It's a fascinating question.
Glimpse into the vision.
The future
right?
is now.
Well, in whose world?
In whose world, right? That's it.
This is-
So for homeowners, for people looking to buy and sell, what is their next vision? What should they be looking for? What do they see? Or even agents, agents
Yeah.
that they're working with, what do you see coming up on the horizon? I think the market
Sure.
is going to be good for a while.
Sure.
right?
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Eddie would agree too.
But how we do business.
How we do business, that's a
Is
different
that-
question, right?
Right.
So for homeowners, I guess here's the good thing is that real estate is the slowest moving ship in the ocean. Meaning that once it reaches a steady case, it tends to continue that way forward, and something drastic needs to happen, like an iceberg, in order for it to
COVID.
stop. Okay, COVID,
Right.
2007, 8,
Right.
right?
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah.
Now, you guys, it would be my inclination that you would never see that again. We put some safeguards in place for that to make sure that that never happened. The CFPB, all this other
Sure.
stuff. So I guess the good thing for homeowners is that home ownership, we know statistically, leads to a better quality of life,
Mhm.
right? And it typically starts with your children and like the security
Right.
behind a home.
Sure.
It is a good financial investment. So I would then say that if that is true, you believe it is true, how do you then further invest into your life? Is this you owning a current home here? Where I think the future of this might be, and COVID is to thank for this, is that you might actually own a home in one state, and then I don't know if you hate snow,
Right.
maybe you want a condo somewhere
Or taxes.
else. Maybe, or taxes.
Or
Yeah, come
taxes.
to Illinois for the construction and the taxes. That's the fascinating. Can we talk? Let's get on that.
Let's get on
Yeah.
that.
But where does this go? Home ownership isn't going anywhere. We know that it makes you more wealthy, that it adds more stability to your life.
Absolutely.
So for homeowners, I don't know that it's much different for you. But now when you go to buy your next home, let's just say that you just bought a home and in 7-10 years, you're going to buy another one. I don't know if it's outside the realm of possibility that you might be touring that home using an Oculus Rift.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
So
Just tell what an Oculus Rift
Yeah,
is. Some
sure.
people don't might not know.
So I don't own one because a little glimpse into my world, I would immediately get nauseous.
Right.
You can't put me on a boat. My wife would tell you, yeah, don't put them on a boat. But so an Oculus Rift is a virtual reality device,
The headgear, right?
headgear, handles, all that good stuff. And so
my son has one. He's always doing
Yeah.
this.
I love the blooper videos around
Oh my
Oculus
God.
Rift. They're my favorite. But so I guess where I apply my logic and why I've been able to guess things like the Netflix removing Blockbuster,
Sure.
if you look at a home in the 80s, okay, let's just take the average home. Okay, so the phone was mounted on the wall,
Mhm.
right? The TV sat in one room, you had one.
Right.
Okay. And you could then take that practice, the TV, the phone, the fact that you had to go access people by picking up that phone, and how much of that lives. For the people that are only listening, I'm holding my phone. How much of that, what was in that home, now lives in this device?
Right.
Okay, that's on your phone. And there's a particular math equation that is applied to how fast technology grows and what it overcomes in a certain period of time, right? And so if you expound on that idea, the idea that we could all technically be living in whatever a virtual reality game is right now, right? Which is simulation theory, which is like not this show, but like if we want to go down that road. And so how do you then take something that would technically be analog, like your car and their car, and remove that from the equation because that now exists somewhere else?
Right.
And so this is then touring homes using the Oculus Rift, touring 30 homes inside of an hour instead of what, 3?
Yeah. 3. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
that.
So I schedule a half hour for each home, depending on the size and such, but about 30 minutes per
Yeah.
home, right? With drive time.
With
depending-
drive time, traffic, stopping for
All
potty
the good
breaks. We've all
stuff,
been there.
right? That's right. That's right.
Don't forget storage for VHS tapes.
Gosh,
That took up half our living room.
it
What is
sure
that?
did.
No.
Right.
It sure did. You
There
know,
are these things that you put into a thing, and then the movie came up.
well, and you could hold the thing that you bought.
Right.
Yeah.
And now I can't hold any of it. It
No.
exists in my Apple TV. It exists in my YouTube TV account, and I can't hold them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
and
sure.
is that negative or positive? I think I can probably argue both.
That's it.
Right.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. I know we talked earlier in the green room, and I'm going backwards, so I apologize.
go ahead.
Is because we have a number of people that want to get into the market. The age to get into real estate has been lowered to 18, which is just amazing. And we have paramedics that are 18 and 19 and stuff. It's just kind of weird too.
Yeah.
But as we look at that younger group and everybody coming in, you said class was free if you watch a lot of videos, right?
If you can watch a YouTube video 10 times and go
Right.
try to install a dishwasher, we have a free
Was
version.
there a reimbursement program as well? I thought,
There is.
and I just want to lay that out there as well. I
Yeah,
apologize.
please. And this would apply, well, I guess right now, this would apply to AHI. So if you were to go to AHI and join Keller Williams,
Mhm.
we would reimburse you for the cost of your school up to $600. And the reason why we do that is because we understand that we are interested in being in business with the next prodigy of real estate if it costs us a little bit of money,
Right.
Right.
right?
Right.
And frankly, we're all going to make money anyway, so it's a complete wash.
Absolutely.
Right. And so the way that would work functionally is that up to $600, we would compensate you an extra $300 on your first transaction with us. And then your second one, another $300. And for most schools, most people, that's going to cover the entire cost of your real estate school.
That's great.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Now, for someone that's already in real estate, they got licensed. Is there an annual renewal fee for your licensing? What does that look like? I honestly don't know.
Yeah. So the running joke in real estate is that in your first initial months, you're going to cut more checks than you make. right? And so you laugh because you've been through it, right? And so now this is dependent on a bunch of different factors. So I don't want to intentionally answer your question generally, but I think I'd be getting myself some hot water for answers specifically. So what sort of fees would you be looking at? I can speak specifically to KW.
Sure.
Okay. So particularly at our office, there is a $99 per month fee, right? A membership fee, which affords you a whole bunch of stuff. Basically every tool you're going to need to launch and run your real estate career. That includes all of the training that you're going to need.
Marketing and whatnot, right?
Yeah, the whole nine. And so outside of that was initial investment. We got to join a real estate board, right?
Sure.
I belong to Heartland, great organization.
Absolutely.
Let's see, there's continuing ed that's set at a certain cadence depending on where you're licensed, right? So it's a little bit of a fee, but I would look at that as an investment into the building of your retirement plan.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Good.
Now, if you're an agent, or you want to become an agent, or you're even a mega agent, and they want to get into Keller Williams, you're the guy they should talk to. Is that right?
Yeah, myself and my team.
Okay.
So again, I would highlight, even though my ego would want to tell you like it's all me, I can tell you right now it is not.
Right.
And the people that help support my role in the organization would also agree with me.
Right.
And so you can reach out to me through one of the social media channels that you have access to, or the Move with KW.
You pull up that site again.
Yeah, the Move with KW site, and click Get in Touch. And so
And
what
get in
I'd want to
touch.
share with the agents that are currently in production at other brokerages, when you click that button, what I need you to understand is that your connection with me and my team and my people will remain completely confidential. We know that it doesn't serve anybody's interest to share that information.
Right.
And where we show up in your world is that if you'd want to, and this would be a lateral transfer to KW, we want to exist in your world to the degree you want us to exist. Where this becomes interesting for me is where you level up and build an empire around this. And so if you're currently in production, a question I would ask me is, what strategy are you going to use with me and help me with? And who do I have access to help elevate my career to the next level? And what does that look like? And it's completely custom fit every single time.
Absolutely. So we got the website up here. We got the whoops, sorry about that. We got the go here button, and just click on there and they'll get a hold of you right now. So that's not just for people in Illinois, right? Can anybody across the United States?
Yeah, that's
here
the
and
thing.
connect?
Keller Williams is the largest real estate organization on the planet
Nice.
by agent count, production, and transactions. So basically, if you wanted to start this path and you wanted to go do real estate, and I don't know if we have an office in Sri Lanka, but we could get you there. Yeah, we could get you there.
That is awesome. And it good.
No, I was just gonna say I just had a thought that came up to me right now. Is I was speaking with other lenders in the field, and they're telling me, hey Eddie, have you seen an increase in applicants who are Hispanic, bilingual? And to that question is, do you see an increase in the Hispanic population buying homes more than, let's say, 5-10 years ago? What have you seen there in your field?
Yeah, I don't know if I could put a number around certain demographics.
Sure.
I'm sure that exists across the board, depending on where you live. But I think there's a lot of folks that are coming to the realization that this is the path forward to wealth, right? And so I'm sure, but I don't know at what degree those numbers have increased based on individuals. I would tell you that they have increased across the board incrementally.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. If, homeownership is fantastic. It's a good thing to have. And multiple homes, like we talked about earlier, is buy a home, rent that one out, move up to your move up home, get that one paid off, and continue to do that same thing. And then you get into 1031 exchanges and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But
I would think for people that are listening to your show, a question they should ask you if they know you is, how do I purchase an Airbnb so that I have a place to go and a place I like the vacations with somebody else?
That's it. Dan, you're amazing. Thanks for coming out. Love you, brother.
Thank you.
Eddie, great job, brother. Good seeing you. Happy New Year, everybody. First show of the year. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, man. Good show.